first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. We're coming to you live right now with breaking news having to do with the weather. Of course, I'm Greg, but I am here with Mark Nelson. Okay. And Mark, it says right there in the lower third, we've got one microphone, so I'm just going to pass this over to you.
Sure.
But,
so we've got a tornado warning up in central Clark County. If you have our app, you've already gotten the alert, the push alert, and we've had some very heavy downpours. But and Katie's running the radar here. This is great. So you see a lot of red areas. We've had some flooding up there in Vancouver in spots. And the Weather Service has a tornado warning in that red area, which is basically from the Orchards area northeast to Hawkinson, maybe just clipping the south part of Battleground. Katie, let's go, if we could, to the next, what we call velocity. We don't use this very often because usually it doesn't show much of anything. Okay, yeah, maybe we can even move a little bit to the northeast. Well, actually, I guess we could stay there for a second. When you see that there's a little area of red, if you can stop it, if that works out, okay, if a little area of where there's red right by the green, the radar is detecting movement towards or away from the radar, which is up in kind of Portland's West Hills. And when you see those two spots right beside each other, right there, see where there's green and red kind of tracking northeast, and it's kind of petering out as you head as it heads towards Hawkinson there. But that's enough rotation. The radar or the Weather Service says, hey, this is capable of producing a tornado. We've seen far less rotation. Remember last week's tornado?
Yep.
Yeah. We saw far less rotation. It was barely even visible on the radar, and that produced a tornado. So something with this much rotation could produce a tornado. But as of now, I've looked through several weather groups. I do not see any evidence of a tornado on the ground. So it's possible there's just rotation above, but it doesn't actually dip down. So that warning is up. So what time is it now? It's about 3:15, 3:14?
3:13.
3:13. So the warning's up for another about 18 minutes. It is moving very quickly. So Katie, if you get a chance, if we go back to the velocity again and maybe go over towards Hawkinson, move a little off to the right. So once you get east of Hawkinson, you're up into the Cascade foothills. So at that point, then we're just in a rural area. So if there were a tornado right now, let's pretend if there was one on the ground, which we see no evidence of, it would be up there north of Hawkinson. You see that red dot, Greg?
Yep.
Yeah, so it would be tracking off to the northeast very quickly. So I bet you within 10, 15 minutes they may drop the warning if there's no evidence that a tornado actually occurred. But I can't remember the last time we had a tornado warning here without a tornado actually occurring, because usually, you see we get the tornado, there's a warning, and it's already gone.
And then it's already happened.
Because you know how weak they are, usually these EF0s. There you go. Thanks, Katie. That's great. So you can kind of see, north of Hawkinson. Okay, there's the latest scan there. Now it's east of Battleground, that little green spot in the middle of the sea of red there. And it's also decreasing in intensity. You're not seeing quite the shear, the difference in the wind direction there. All right, so that's heading off to the northeast. So maybe, Greg, maybe we've gotten by without a tornado.
Well, I know, the last one, like you mentioned, the one that was in La Center, that we had the images that were sent in from people. We had those videos that came in, showing what was happening. And so that was when the tornado warning was issued. Is that my understanding of that?
That's right. There was no warning ahead of time. And typically, I'd say 90% of our tornadoes, we don't have a warning ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, if you're in that area, be aware of this warning. But also, if you do happen to have any video, that is something that people can send in too, images and pictures if you do have anything going on.
That's right, and it looks like, now I'm not the official weather service, but clearly to the southwest of there over Orchards I-205, this has moved well northeast of there. My guess is you're probably going to be just fine there. Okay. But if you live in the hills east of Battleground, I have a cousin up there, and north of Hawkinson there, there could be some spinning in the sky overhead.
All right, Mark's cousin, if you're watching, send in some videos and pictures of that. And so going, beyond this, it's really specific down to 3:30, so I think that is kind of interesting. They can really target this to that. Does this thing have the potential to maybe produce this weather front that's coming in? Does it have the potential to produce these kinds of warnings going forward, or is this just probably the one time?
Probably the one time, although Katie, if you want to go back to the, and Katie's great, she's driving the radar, it's great.
Yes.
If you go back to that velocity again, can we go back to velocity and then go back down, you see another heavy cell over Portland, well, no, that's okay, well to the southwest, and I just kind of slide it down there quite a ways and see what we have farther down. A little tricky to operate sometimes, but we'll basically be watching here over the next hour to see if anything else gets a little spin. It is interesting. There's kind of I'm using air quotes here. There is a tornado alley in our area, which is Clark County, the flatlands of Clark County, because as these showers come over from the southwest, there tends to be, as the air comes over the West Hills, sometimes a little bit of roll, a little bit of extra spin.
And that's all it takes then to sometimes, produce these. Obviously, not like we're getting a lot of these that happen here, but if it were, that's where our tornado Tornado Alley would be.
Yeah, there was one in 2008 that was right over Vancouver Lake. 2015 was at Battleground. Pretty impressive storm. A lot of people saw that, and so a lot of these do happen over the flatlands of Clark County. Usually they're pretty weak. Okay, no, we still got that latest scan there. Is north of Hawkinson and east of Battleground, just that little green spot. Looks like we're losing the color. So if there's less green color, that would indicate there's less rotation.
Okay, that's what that is. Okay, so the green color rotation, not seeing a lot of it. So maybe, like you said, nothing happened here, but important to get that warning out.
In fact, did the warning just go off? Katie, I don't have my phone with me right here. Did it just went off? Can we go back to the other, maybe we can go back to the other scan again, the velocity. If it's gone, nope, it's still there, I guess, for a little bit longer. Oh, no, maybe it did just go off. Well, it's hard to tell. But either way, the point is, it's continuing to move off to the northeast. It's mostly in the foothills, which is good news.
All right. Well, if anything else happens, of course, we'll have the breaking news, all the coverage for all of that. And we'll have, all of our news that people can go to kptv.com, follow along with everything. And I know you're taking a look here right now, but this is, again, we're live here. We're letting you know about it. Katie's here just off to the side running everything. So, yeah, she's right there.
The radar. I'm not ignoring Greg.
No. This is you're doing your job. So I'm just saying, though, this is how we can get this information out to you, too. It's another option here with Fox.
And I should just point out, I don't want to make light of the situation,
Yeah,
but
no.
we were about to shoot a Christmas promo, the Toy Drive promo. That's why I'm wearing a Christmas sweater, folks. So that's why I'm doing that. Are we still got on the radar? I'm looking at, we have it off to the right as well. Looks like that's pretty much fallen apart over the hills east of Battleground, so maybe we've made it. I think that's a good news. Maybe, Katie, if you stop the movement, then I think it would show us if the warning has been dropped. Is there a way to just say stop it? We're using a different piece of equipment out here, which is a little different than the Weather Center. It gives us all the basics, and we can show you what's going on. But sometimes, oh, there you go. Oh,
Hit stop.
yeah, she's trying to hit the stop button.
That's what it does.
Oh, is this the current time? Let's see. Where's the clock? I'm in a different place. Okay, I think the warning may have been dropped. Looks like. Well, for sure we know it'll be off in about 12 minutes, so that's good news. Hopefully we avoided a tornado. I don't see any, but we're in the newsroom. I don't see anybody running around.
No.
I know the digital folks. They're busy, but they're not jumping up and down. So I think maybe we have not had any reports of a tornado. Is that correct? No funnel clouds yet? Nope. We got a big thumbs down, so maybe that's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, if it does happen, we will be right here. We'll bring you this news. And yeah, Mark, anything else you think people should know?
No, we rarely get tornado warnings, but
Yeah.
when we do get one, typically something could be about to happen. So maybe this time we escape without anything.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. This is Fox 12 now, so wherever you're watching, this is the place to go for any kind of breaking news like that, between 1 and 4 especially. We're always here for that. So thanks for joining us. That is the tornado warning as of now. Just follow along, kptv.com, follow Mark, follow our team on Twitter and everywhere else, and we will have the details when we find out.
Okay, thanks, Greg.
All right, thanks.